Hey guys, Killen here, and today I wanted to talk about how to lo-fi on the OP1. So I'm a pretty big fan of lo-fi music, and I've wanted to create lo-fi hip-hop beats for a while now. I just never really got around to doing it in my DAW, but ever since I got this thing, it sort of lends itself to sampling and lo-fi music. It's just so easy to chop up riffs and kind of create your own thing with them. I recently posted this beat on Instagram and a bunch of people actually messaged me saying how much they liked it, so that's why I wanted to make a video about it. This beat has actually already been made and recorded, so I can't do anything in real time, but I make YouTube videos all the time, so maybe next one I'll do something from scratch. So to get started with recording something, you need to plug into the red input here. So I'm going to do that. From there you click on the drum button here. I'm not sure if that's the proper term for it, but anyways. And then shift microphone, and then you have the input here. So basically you just play something through your computer or your phone or anything really, and then you press any key to sample it. And you could sample up to 12 seconds, which is definitely long enough to come up with something creative. So the sample that you record automatically gets chopped up in between 24 keys. You'll notice that there's a wave here as well, and each key that you press shows the part of the wave that you're playing. If you want, you could change the starting and end point of each wave. So if I want to play this one shorter, I just pull it back with the white knob here. Another cool thing you could do is you could actually pitch the wave that you're working with. So I'll show you the full sample that I used for this beat. And then I'll show you the individual parts that I chopped up. After I became comfortable with this riff, I decided to add drums to have something to play along with. I guess the only modern sensibility about this beat is that some of the hi-hats are pitched differently. I decided to pitch some of them higher just to kind of give it that modern feel. Modern plus lo-fi. So after that I moved to track 3 and I wanted to add bass. For this one I literally went into shift mode, so that's shift 8, cluster, bass face. That was the first thing that I saw and that's what I used for the bass. Altogether it sounds like this. So that's it for the rhythm section, but there's actually one thing I forgot to add about the sampling. You could actually sidechain things using the tremolo LFO, so I'll show you how to do that. So to start with, just press shift 4 to get to the tremolo LFO. And then from there, you could choose the speed that you want the sidechaining to happen. So I think speed 4 is quarter notes. You could change the speed if you want. You could go to speed 5. So that speed 5 is 8th notes. 16th notes, and so on, so you could experiment with that. From there you could choose the mix of the sidechain. So if you want it to be really prominent, you could set it to like 100. But I think that's a bit extreme, so I set it to, I think it was around maybe 30? Okay, great. And from there you could choose the envelope, so depending on how you want it to sidechain. So I chose the upwards wave, which I thought worked for this kind of beat. But if you want to change it, you just press shift and then you could twist the red knob here. So this part of the beat is pretty subtle, but it really gives it that authentic lo-fi sound. Going back to the beat as a whole, you could actually change the tempo of your beat by pressing the tape button and then twisting the white knob. So if you want to get extreme, you could go ridiculously slow like this. But I chose -1, so this is what it sounds like. So the final instrumental addition was this sound. Kind of just something that I sprinkled on there.
Look at that douchebag.
So finally I messed with the master. To get to the master, you press this button here, and from there you could mix each track. So if you want the drums to be louder or quieter, after that you could EQ the whole track if you want by pressing 2. I find that if you push the mids, it reacts really well with the snare drum. One of the last additions on the master was number 4. So here you could change the drive if you want, and you could also change the release. Recently I've been pushing the drive on pretty much all of my tracks because I think it just sounds better. Sounds great! So obviously the drive adds volume, but it also adds a certain distortion, which works really well with this lo-fi sound. The last thing I changed was the release. So I put it as low as I possibly could without it distorting the bass. So I'll show you what it does if I put it too low. Yeah, I just thought that 30 was kind of the sweet spot because the bass was still pumping and the drums weren't too overbearing at that point. So the very last thing that I added was an effect on the master. So to get there, you press 3. I added nitro, which is basically just a filter, so check it out. Classic. If you want to add a different effect, you just press Shift 3 on the master and you could add whatever you want. So let's try a couple more just for fun. Let's try cow. Weird. Let's try one more. Let's try phone. This one's either going to be awesome or just total crap.
No!
If you like what you see, make sure to like and subscribe. I make videos all the time. I'm going to be focusing a bunch on the OP1 for the next few videos, so we could get into that. Also, I thank everyone who's already subscribed. I'm realizing how tough it is to get subscribers, so I appreciate every single one of you. Every new subscriber that I get, it makes me that much happier, so thanks again.
Yay!
I'll see you guys soon with the next video. Cheers.